Hey, trainers! So, it being the year 2022 and seeing how the last few years have gone, I figured somebody may as well go ahead and make a list ranking dogs by how proficient they would be in the impending zombie apocalypse. Now, in our zombie apocalypse, the contagion itself is not zoonotic, meaning the dog can't pick it up, and let's just go ahead and assume that those germs in his mouth can kill those contagions off so they won't be passed on to us within a few minutes, so everything's cool beans, and it wouldn't be irresponsible to use dogs to help us in the impending apocalypse. So let's kick it off. I wanted to use the usual suspects, or at least some dogs that I see pretty commonly and I see pretty frequently. Let me turn my light back on. Boo. So I wanted to start with our good buddy, the Labrador, right? Labradors check a lot of boxes, and if you've seen my video already where I break down Labs a little bit further, you'll understand why. I call them a Swiss Army knife dog, and what I mean by that is that they're just capable of doing a lot of things. The only reason I can't put him A tier is because of one thing, and we are missing a bite capability. Like I said, the contagion is not zoonotic, so we may as well use that to maybe help us get away, or who knows, in a worst case scenario when we'll need it. So although they are great at finding food, helping us find water, being an early warning device, not needing a whole lot of extra food or not really needing less food than other dogs, I'd say I'd put them kind of average there. Gonna have to put them B tier because of the bite stuff. Another thing that's going into it is if you find a yellow one, then you'd be at a 1/3 chance that they wouldn't understand when they're full. And it's not just a fat lab joke. Literally 1/3 of labs don't have this thing that I'm pointing at, or I couldn't find it and nothing's there. That actually causes them to not understand when they're full. 2, talk about usual suspects. We'll just go down the list for this one. We have Labs are the most popular breed in America. To number 2, the German Shepherd. And I'd have to say we have a pretty clear A tier dog, or at least our first one. They check every box. They certainly have a bite capability. They certainly have a tracking capability. Can be awesome at finding food. Can certainly help us find water. Awesome companionship. However, there's nothing glaring past that, right? They aren't, say, it's not like they require a lot less food or a lot more food. They hit every box. So not quite S, but certainly A, maybe even A+. Now, on to the third one, and I kind of wanted to get a little wacky here and go small breed, right? The Yorkshire Terrier. Now, a lot of you are laughing, except for a lot of people who own some Yorkshire Terriers. And I keep putting a little emphasis on that syllable because the Terrier is important, right? Just like other Terriers, they certainly have a bite capability. They have a lot of prey drive, right? They're going to be great early warning devices. They're going to certainly be able to help us find food, be able to find water. However, we are at a little bit of a hindrance with size, right? We certainly couldn't say that they could reasonably help us out with some type of bite work. And thinking about it, they do have to move about 4 times as much just to get like a single step of some of the larger breeds, right? So cardio is going to be a problem. And with that, I think we're going to have to put it C tier. Going on to the opposite of the Yorkie, I couldn't think of better opposite than the big pit bull, right? So they're very similar, and I get it, pit bull snobs. I'm not talking, and I'm not going to talk every single version of this dog. We're saying American Staffordshire looking dudes, big dumb head, super fun personality, those dogs. We'll just go ahead and group all of them together, minus the English Bulldog. Sorry, if you can't breathe and you can't swim, you can't come to zombie apocalypse. So with that, the benefit that the pit bull would have over the Yorkie, its cousin terrier, is its size. However, those big dense muscles are going to require a lot of big dense food. They're going to need a lot of water, right? Anybody who has ever worked with a dog in the military, especially on deployments or maybe even some search and rescue scenarios, anybody who's had to carry all their dog's crap for multiple days while working knows the bigger the dog, the more food that they're going to need. On my first deployment, I had a 55-ish, 60-pound dog, who I even leaned up before the deployment a little bit, as onto my last one, where I had a much larger dog. I think I even look more tired in the pictures. It's a lot more weight. It's a lot more to carry around, which is gonna bump, y'all are gonna be so mad, is gonna bump the pit bull from A tier to B tier. Now, I mentioned it earlier, the mythical S tier, so I had to find a dog to put on there, and it was as easy as thinking of the Australian cattle dog. We've got tenacity biologically, right? These dogs will bite. These dogs will track. These dogs can go 80 kilometers in the outback in the summertime, man. That's as far as herd animals. And you know what? They don't require as much food as a lot of the other dogs would need on a day-to-day basis. You could pick one up. You can move one around very easily. However, it comes with one hell of a bite force. It's nothing I would want to mess around with and would certainly be beneficial and helpful. So, do I have it wrong? Do you feel the German Shepherd should be higher? Please argue why. Now, I know a lot of you are sitting there frustrated, scared, and worried. Oh my God, Tim, I realize that the zombie apocalypse is coming. However, you didn't list my dog. Well, what do you think free evaluations are for, buddy? Come on down, and I'd be happy to let you know exactly where I think your dog ranks in our zombie apocalypse scale. If you're having some issues at home with the dude, we can cover that too, right? Or if, there's just something new and cool we'd like to teach your dog, come on down and see us. Evaluations are free, guys. All right, let me know what you think. Let me know where I went wrong or where I was right. All right, talk to you guys next week. Later.